Well, I planted all my seeds, got all the seed starts ready for this year in the little seed tray that I was showing you on my last video, PropTech 162 cell tray, and I'm going to tell you what all I planted into that. I'm also going to tell you some of my thoughts about that seed starting tray, and just give you the information that I promised you on my last video. If you hadn't watched the last video, make sure you go check it out. It's basically how to set up and get ready to start your seeds indoors. So the PropTech seed tray that I have is 9 cells by 18 cells. Again, it's a 162 cell seed tray. So starting from the corner that I marked, basically I started with tomatoes, and based on whether they're indeterminate or determinate. So the first row I did all of my first 2 rows are all my indeterminate seeds for my tomatoes. So we typically grow both kinds here. A lot of Romas, but mostly indeterminates. The season is such that it's long enough to get plenty of tomatoes throughout the year. It's not like places in the South where they don't grow all year, all season long because it gets so hot. It doesn't quite get that hot here. Again, I'm in 6A zone, but so I planted beefsteak. It's a common variety. I planted 6 of them. I did Boxcar Willie. I did 3 of them. I did Arkansas Traveler. I did 3 of those, and those are all very well known open pollinated heirloom varieties. All of the tomatoes basically that we grow are heirlooms. Did Florade, did 3 of those, and we did Delicious, we did 3 of those. So that's 18 of the indeterminates. And then for determinates, we did Homestead, we did 3 of them, we did 3 Rutgers, and we did 3 San Marzanos. Now, if you saw the last video, I need all of those to germinate. And so if one of them doesn't come up, I had a row of what I call insurance. So it's my my insurance in case some of my peppers and some of my tomatoes don't come up. And so I did a row of those where I did Roma. I just did straight Roma, 4 of them, and then I did just banana peppers, 5 of them. And so that's my insurance row for my tomatoes and peppers. And then now that we're getting into peppers, I did 18 California Wonders. Those are just bell peppers, nothing too fancy or crazy there. I didn't mention, but all of my tomatoes are just regular slicing tomatoes, other than the San Marzanos are supposed to be really prized for sauces. And again, the aromas are those as well. They're prized for sauce, making sauces like your tomato sauce and that kind of stuff. We do canned tomatoes here, and we put up just whatever we have that we can put up. The next in line is, those were just my bell peppers, the California Wonder. Then I grew hot peppers. So I have, and I don't think these are hot. They're called lipstick peppers. And I did 3 of them. I've tried growing them for 2 years, and I have not had any success. I think I've gotten 1 to germinate, and it died before it produced. So I still have seeds, so I'm going to try them again. It's just what I do. Don't ask. And then I have Serrano. I have 3 of them, and then I have 3 Cayenne. And then I did jalapeno. I did 3 of them, and then I did. It's a pepper that Miss Tea Badger bought me last year, and she got it at like a swap meet or something. I'm not sure what, but she brought these home, and they're called Puma, Puma, like the shoes, and they were delicious. They are like a habanero, but not as hot as a habanero. I used to be a big chili head growing up, and I loved, the hotter the better. I can eat the hottest things. I can't do that anymore. As I've gotten older, I still like to eat the hot things, but the hot things don't like me. So I have to curtail some of my hot peppers. Puma peppers to me are just the right balance of, it's got the habanero taste, but the heat is more on par with like a really hot jalapeno. Now we're into cucumbers. So I did 9 Market More. Those are a type we've grown here successfully before. They do really well for us. They're your standard cucumber, nothing fancy or special about that. And then I did a new type of pickling cucumber called Wisconsin. I guess it's summer, but it just says SMR. I did 4 of those, and then I did another variety that we've done in the past called Boston Pickle, and we did 2 of them. And so that's all of our cucumbers. And then I did 2, actually 3. I did 3 Sugar Baby watermelon seeds. I did 2 dwarf sunflowers. And then I did 2 jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. And I did 4 Hearts of Gold cantaloupe. We've grown that before, and they're delicious. They did real well. We had several last year that we were enjoying. And I did a How's Best cantaloupe. I just did 1 of them. I wanted 5 cantaloupe, and so I figured that was kind of my experimental seed. Next is squash and zucchini. So I did crookneck squash. That's my favorite of the squash varieties. I just like the old standard crookneck yellow squash, but I only had 2 seeds left, so that's how many I planted of those. And then I did something I've never grown before, but it looked interesting to me, so I figured I'd give it a try. They're most people call them patty pan squash. They're the kind of round, flattened kind of squash. I did 3 of them just to try them out. If they're really prolific, then I may grow them some more in the future years. If they're just okay, then I might not. I don't know. But then I did straight neck squash. I did 4 of them. Again, it's a straight neck and crook neck. They're identical. They don't taste any different. When I think of a squash, I think of a crook neck. Zucchini, I did 9 of them, so I have plenty of squash and zucchini for my needs. And then this is where it gets a little. This is all experimental. So I have never grown. We've lived here now 3 years in this state, and I have never tried to grow any kind of beans here. I don't really want to do a lot of trellising, so I decided to grow all bush beans. And one thing I've never ever tried to grow is dried beans. So beans for saving as dried beans. But I thought, well, I'll try that. And so what I did with the rest of these sales is I did beans, and I know a lot of people are going, and peas actually. So beans and peas for the next, let's see, five rows. So that's 40 sales of beans. The reason being is that if you saw the last video, I got some zipper cream peas, and I got 50 of them. I figured I would try to baby some of them just to make sure that's like a guarantee that I get them to come up instead of going out there to find out that the birds have eaten my seeds that I direct sowed in the ground. Just wanted a little bit of insurance policy on those, and that's pretty much the same for the rest of these. I just kind of wanted to have a little bit of insurance as to make sure that I get some bean starts. If this doesn't work out real well for me, then I won't do it again. But I don't know anybody else that has ever tried to transplant beans. But hey, I'll let you know, or you can follow along and find out whether it's a good idea or not. So I did contender green beans. They're bush beans. I did 9 of them. I've never grown bush beans. I've grown plenty of your, what they call pole beans, the kinds that you gotta trellis. They grow vertically. They vine. I've grown them. I've grown plenty of them, but I've never tried the bush beans. And the reason like I said, I don't want to have a lot of trellising, and so I figured my garden's plenty big enough. Since I've expanded it, that I don't have to. So I'm just going to grow the bush varieties, which means you have to grow a lot more of the bush varieties than you do the pole varieties. They just don't put out as much. So that's all of the green beans that I planted. And then I did some varieties. What I did was last year, I went on M.I. Gardner's website, and before, if you watch his videos, or follow his store, basically right before he doubled his seed prices, I went through all of his beans that were basically your dried beans, and bought one of each kind that was a bush variety. None of these are going to need trellising of any kind. They're all supposed to be your bush type varieties. I will tell you that most of these I've never heard of. I don't know if they're worth having, but I thought, I'll give them a try. And they come 25 seeds per packet, so you'll see that I'm planting just a sample of them. When the garden gets ready, and I'll just direct sow all the rest of my peas and beans. But again, this is basically what I planted. There's a bean called Adzuki. I've never heard of them. Don't know what they are, but I planted 3 of them, and that's a dried bean. Calypso beans. I did 3 of them. They never heard of them, but they look super cool. They look like a yin yang symbol. They're black and white with almost like a little baby orca in their bean. So they're super cool to look at. Whether they taste fit to eat or not, we'll find out. But they at least look good. I'll give them that. Pinto beans, which everybody knows what those are. I did 3 of those. Black turtle beans, which is just a black bean. I did 3 of those. I did 3 light red kidney beans, and this right here. I did a painted pony bean. I did 3 of them. Not familiar with them, but they looked kind of like they were brown and white, and they like a painted pony, I guess. They're different looking, pretty cool looking. Give them a try. I did another variety here I've never tried before. Kenearly. I'm probably butchering that. Kenearly. Kenearly yellow eye bean. I did 3 of those, and all of these that I've listed so far, these are all for dried beans. And then I did 6 purple hull peas. That's a very common variety where I'm from. Not so common here, but that's a really good pea. It grows real well in the heat. And then I babied my Zipper Cream peas like I said I was going to. I did 5 of them out of my 50 pack just as insurance. So 10%. Hey, I know I'll get at least 4 of these to probably sprout and grow. And then because I got the little free pack of English peas, they're called Little Marvel. When I ordered the Zipper Cream, the company, I guess they just automatically send you a free pack. It was pretty expensive, I thought. It was $7 for 50 Zipper Cream peas, which you can easily back home. You can get that for a pound. I got 50, but so I welcome that I'm glad that they went ahead and threw in the English peas, just cause it was thrown in for free. And like I said on my last video, I don't like English peas or sweet peas as they're called. They call them up here sweet peas or just green peas. Between the sweet pea, English pea, green pea, which are all the same thing, that and sugar snap peas, that's the only kind of peas you'll find up past much further north than the Mason-Dixon line from my experience. This is the second state I've lived in outside of the South, and that's I wish these people would learn about different peas and try them out. I think they would be popular everywhere, but as it is, you grow what you can get. And so that totals 162. Every single cell is full. So that now is just a waiting game. So I should see, hopefully I'll start seeing results in a week from now. And as I get results, I will let you come along and see what kind of success and failures I have. I do have them on a heat mat. My heat mat is way smaller than my new tray. It was perfect for my last tray. It's I would say probably it's just a standard one you get at Walmart. So however big that thing is, 20 inches long and 12 inches wide, something roughly about that size. Whereas it's about half the size of this new seeds tray that I have now, which is fine because really I just want them for the peppers and the tomatoes, mostly for the peppers. But since it covers half of it, that's far more than what I actually need the heat mat for. Plus, the heat mat will in itself, it will heat the entire tray. It'll just take it much longer to do it, and I'm just leaving the heat mat on. It's not on a timer. It's just full on. So I did take the bottom tray, the seeds tray, and then the bottom that keeps everything from getting dirty. I did buy 2 of them. Like I mentioned, I'm using it for a dome. I went down after they'd been overnight and checked them out this morning, and that thing's working just as well as any other dome. It's the exact same size as the one below. It's identical, so it's almost like 2 halves make a whole. So that is working fantastic as far as humidity dome. That's pretty much the extent of things here. I do want to mention a couple things about that seed tray. If you're looking to get them, they're pretty expensive. Like I said, I still don't know where I got that thing from. I ordered it probably 6 months ago, and I can't remember the name of the place. It's like Mega Greenhouse or Super Duper Greenhouse or something like that, or maybe it's not even close to that, but it's something like that, I think. But the thing is, they're really expensive. I think I paid want to say about $50 for that thing, which is insane for a seed starting tray, because you can go and buy the ones at your Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, what have you, and they're $12 or something to that effect. But this one, I wanted this one specifically because of the way it's made. It is so heavy duty that I could stand on the thing. I bet you could drive a car over this thing, and it's so sturdy that it won't crush. The ones that that you usually buy they're almost like a one season. You can get a couple out of them. They're just so cheap and flimsy. everybody's that's grown in them, they know, how you squeeze the bottom of it to pop the plant out, and it's just, they work for what you want, but in a lifetime, you'll go through them, and they crack, and whereas this one will last me the rest of my lifetime, unless I just set it on fire or do something stupid with it. And planting in it, I'm really excited about it. I really like it. The one thing, and I'm sure it's not made for this, but planting seeds the size of a pumpkin or the beans, like especially the larger beans, the Azuki bean and the peas were perfect size for them. But your kidney bean is a really large bean, of course, and it's just the cell it's deep, it's plenty deep, but it's not very big around. So that was probably my only, I don't know, in other words, I don't know how well it will support something like a pumpkin. The pumpkin seed pretty much, ate up the entire inner diameter of that cell. So we'll find out together. And if it doesn't, then that's not a big deal either. I'll go back to my solo cups or what have you, or one of the cheap trays that I've got for that anyway. But again, it's my first year using it. It's another experiment. I wish that these trays were more readily available than you have to order them online. And you can look, and when you do look for them online, there's a very wide range of prices to pay for these, and I just ordered it from the place that I could buy it the cheapest, because it's the same exact product. Why pay more? And so that's why I bought it from the place that I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed me rambling about what all I planted this year, and you stick with us so that I can show you what did and what did not come up in the new seed starting tray experiment of 2021. And if you would, please give us a like and comment let me know what you're growing in your garden. And if you're growing some of these, that's why I went through with all the names of the actual varieties of these. I will do a full-on update on each of these if they all come up throughout the growing season, and let you know, because the reason we're planting, there's so many different varieties that I'm trying to plant. I'm trying to find the one variety that does best here, and so that takes seasons to do that, and I still haven't found a variety that I would like to just stick with and grow. So that's why there's just so many varieties that I'm trying. Once you can nail one specific variety that does extremely well in your environment, then you can stick with that, and you can actually just save your seeds. I won't be able to save the seeds so much from these because I'm growing so many different types. So that's another reason why I've got just, I'm growing so many different types of the same plant, is to figure out, to eliminate the ones I don't want anymore. So anyway, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment, and I'll see you on the next adventure.